Now, do we as believers, what do we think about environmental issues? Revelation 11 verse 18 says this, the nations were angry, and your wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that you shall reward your servants and the prophets and the saints, those who fear your name, small and great, and you will destroy those who destroy the earth. Isn't that amazing? And so this is like the ultimate environmental passage. Are we for protecting the environment? Of course we are. We believe that God created the ecology. He created the environment. He created nature. And God is angry with people who destroy nature. And in that way, we agree with all the environmental warnings. The only difference is, I would say, the percentage of emphasis. Because we realize that the ecological problem is more of a symptom than it is the major problem is the problem of sin and moral decay and hatred and war and false beliefs. Revelation 16, verse 8 and 9 says, the fourth angel poured out his bowl on the sun, and the power was given him to scorch men with fire. And the men were scorched with great heat, and they blasphemed the name of God, who was the power over these plagues, and they did not repent or give him glory. Now just stop for a minute. It says here, also in the next verse down, that 1/3 of the people on earth were scorched with fire. Now, if you just read that in the book of Revelation, you kind of, well, I don't know, some kind of apocalyptic event. In this dream, I was there. I mean, I see it being, can you imagine this being reported on the news? We're having that 10%, 20%, 30% of the people on the earth are dying, are being burned up because the sun is getting big and it's scorching. And it's right going to be what's happening here. The news media, everybody's going to say it. People are going to be dying. Most of the people on the earth are just going to say, oh, it's just environmental disaster. And we don't believe in God. But we hate God because it's happening. And they're blaspheming and cursing God because it's happening. Instead of cursing God, why don't you stop for a minute? Why don't we repent? But we're going to be saying, this is a sign we're about to come into eternal judgment. Wake up. Let's repent, because you being burned with fire is a 1/100% of what it would be like to have eternal judgment. This is God trying to shake you up and pull you in his grace, pull you toward love. This sun shining is the grace of God to help people escape eternal fire. But I realized I never thought of it till I saw in this dream that this is going to be something actually happening with the sun. Now, I went down and I saw there's other end times prophecies that the sun will turn dark. But it's just going to be like also it was in Egypt. There was the plague of darkness. Then this is the sun burning them. It's all this is God saying, folks, wake up. This is the end. This is the end of the day. The world is coming to an end. It's time for us to repent and get straight with him. In other words, the sun was getting bigger and bigger, and he was in it. Now, as I understood that, as I was looking at it, it wasn't that he was inside the sun, but that when he was coming, it was like the sun was behind him. And what I got out of that is God's going to do that on purpose, because it gives you a choice. Are you seeing by faith? This is the Son of God coming in glory, as all of the prophecies, both in the Torah, in the Israelite prophets, in the New Covenant, in the book of Apocalypse, as it's all saying the Son of God coming in glory and power? Are you going to see that, or are you just going to see the sun? In other words, are you going to see the sun, S-O-N, or are you going to see the sun, S-U-N? Verse 17, I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the birds that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather together for the great supper for the supper of the great God. This is within 24 hours. This is the Battle of Armageddon. This is the second coming of Yeshua. This is happening. But just what I said, he said the angel standing in the sun. I never understood this. Now I get it. The believers, we're all going to understand. We're going to read in the Bible. It says, look, the sun's getting bigger. There's an angel standing there, and you're going to see the nations of the world coming to attack Jerusalem, and it's going to be obvious. But if you don't want to see that, what are you going to see? What are you talking about, you bunch of religious fanatics? You crazy Christians, you crazy Messianic Jews. We don't want to hear from you. It's just a global eruption. But John said, no. Can you see when you're looking at the sun? Look again. There's an angel. This is God's hand in this. So we're having to look at natural disasters in a different way. Now,